In today's video, I want to run you guys through on Rockstar Games potentially creating a huge new title and a brand new IP on top of that. That could be rather interesting given that they've done Grand Theft Auto and a Western in Red Dead Redemption, and that's what they've been known for over the course of the last decade, and them dipping their toe into something completely different could be quite interesting. Also, as far as the PlayStation 5 is concerned, it could be using a Samsung NVMe SSD, so we'll give you guys an update on that. Darksiders Genesis is a game that I haven't talked all too much about, but we have an update on that title, and Code Vein Season Pass DLC is going to be launching in early 2020. We'll round out the video with that news. And before we get into everything, I just want to remind you guys to make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon so you are always notified of uploads, and that definitely helps out the channel too, so we always appreciate that. But first up, let's talk about Rockstar Games potentially working on a brand new project, and that being a new IP set in the medieval era. Rockstar has of course done modern times with Grand Theft Auto, they've done the hard-boiled 1940s, they've done the Old West, and now they might be going medieval. No really Eagle Eye fans recently picked up on this rather interesting line in Rockstar India's artist Pawaz Saxena's LinkedIn profile, noting job responsibilities creating modular environment pieces with organic finish carefully following medieval architecture style. The LinkedIn profile has since been edited to remove the telltale line, but of course the internet took images of it and now that's gonna stick there forever. Now, it should be noted that he used to work for Dhruva Interactive, which was only recently absorbed into Rockstar India, so it's a chance that his medieval-themed work was done with a prior team for somebody other than Rockstar. That said, in the days since that LinkedIn clue was found, another Redditor has popped up with some juicy rumors from a source they claim has provided accurate GTA Online and Red Dead Redemption 2 details in the past, noting that Project Medieval is going to be Rockstar's next game, not Grand Theft Auto 6 or the previously rumored Bully 2. Bully 2 is a game that I've been wanting for a very long time, and at this point I have given up all hope for that game. Rumors will pop up once or twice a year suggesting a Bully 2 is in development, and I have absolutely no faith in that game anymore. I have just about as much faith in Bully 2 as I do Half-Life 3. That's how ridiculous it's getting. But nonetheless, it isn't mentioned if the medieval game will be an open world title, but it will supposedly have sword fighting and dueling mechanics. Of course, if we're going to medieval, that is something to expect. According to the leaker as well, the game has to be fairly far along, with Rockstar aiming for a Q1 2021 release date. If that's true, expect them to reveal the game relatively soon. Given that Q1 2021, yes, that does seem a long way away. However, in the grand scheme of things, that's not all too far. You could easily announce this game alongside the announcement and revelation of the next generation consoles, and people would get ready for 2021. 2020 is going to be entirely about the next gen consoles, and if you want to follow that up with early 2021, and if you want to make this new title the first major release post the launch of the next gen consoles, I think that would be a great idea. Again, take all of this with rumors, take it with a grain of salt, but I would be very fascinated with the idea of Rockstar creating something new. I think we've seen Grand Theft Auto with GTA 5, I thought Red Dead Redemption 2 was a great game, but I think it's time for Rockstar to do something a little bit different. Grand Theft Auto is always going to be there, Red Dead's always going to be there, but if they can also establish a third franchise that they could go to that has a distinct setting, well, that would end up paying dividends for them as well. They also have Bully, and they could always go back to that at some point. I know I just noted that it is like a Half-Life 3 at this point, but Bully's another game that I think could develop into a potentially gigantic franchise for Rockstar, and maybe someday we'll see it, but at this point it does look like their next project is rumored to be a brand new medieval title. Alright, moving on from that, let's talk a little bit about the PlayStation 5, as an update to its SSD may have been had at the recent Samsung SSD Forum 2019 held in Tokyo, as reported by PC Watch. Senior Managing Director, Product Planning, Team Memory, Electronics Division Han Jiman spoke about the company's storage solutions. At one point, gaming SSD has been mentioned, with an accompanying slide making it clear how optimized NVMe SSD will reduce both system booting times and loading times, confirming that they will be installed in both the PlayStation 5 and Xbox One Scarlet. Noting in addition, he introduced that SSDs are being deployed in the gaming field for consumers, and explained that in 2020, NVMe SSD will be installed not only on PCs but also on consumer game consoles. SSDs are indispensable for comfortable play of game contents that are becoming larger. So obviously, what other game consoles could they be implemented in? It's not like they're going to release a new PS4 with an SSD all of a sudden. This is definitely something for the PlayStation 5 and next Xbox, and I think going the route of a Samsung SSD SSD is definitely a great idea. Samsung has been one of the standard bearers for SSDs on PC, and for them to work on a console SSD as well, I think that'll end up paying a lot of dividends. The PlayStation 5 and Xbox Scarlet, again, as I mentioned earlier, will be released next year worldwide, and I'll keep you guys updated about all of the updates regarding that as they are slowly trickling in as we are heading into 2020. Alright, moving on from that, Darksiders Genesis is a game that I've hardly talked about, and we do have a decent size update for the game. Airship Syndicate design director Steve Matarudia spoke to Escapist magazine and spoke a lot about Darksiders Genesis. Now, if you don't know what the game is, it's a dungeon crawling title set in the Darksiders universe. The top-down Darksiders spin-off was originally aiming for a 10-hour experience, but that number grew during development. The game features 11 levels with 5 boss fights, and each stage can be replayed to grind resources and re-experience anything that you miss while playing through. The total length of the game for any given player will depend on whether they rocket through the stages on horseback or walk them at a more deliberate pace, whether they play on a harder difficulty, including the unlockable apocalyptic difficulty, and whether they're farming for the game's primary resource, creature cores, which can be used to upgrade the horseman's ability. Again, Escapist magazine has a quality interview with Airship Syndicate design director, and it notes a lot of things about the game, noting, quote, "We reward exploration. A lot of things are hidden throughout. Secrets, puzzles. The structure of the game is mission-based, so you can replay a mission and look for stuff you missed the first time. It's a very arcadey Darksiders experience. When we're thinking about how we want to approach what we show the players versus tell the players, we thought it would make it a more interesting experience to tell players exactly what they failed to acquire, so they know, I have to go back and find this chest and some boatman coins, and I'm missing an ammo type." Darksiders Genesis is, of course, a very different game from your traditional Darksiders experience, but I'm very excited for it. I think it has a ton of potential, and it is going to be a budget title. So it's not like this is going to be a $60 game that you have to buy. Rather, it's going to be a $30 game that a lot of people are going to be able to pick up. Even if you're not a fan of Darksiders, it might be a game right up your alley. And if you have enjoyed the Darksiders titles, well, then even more so a reason to pick up, because of course it is set within the same universe, and it is set before the events of the original game, and it introduces the Horsemen in Strife. So a lot of interesting elements there. The game will be dropping December 5th, 2019 on PC, and it will be coming later thereafter on consoles. Lastly, I do want to give you guys a heads up on Code Vein, a game that is seeing some significant discounts heading into Black Friday. I believe Best Buy will have it down to $39.99. Target has it down to around that same price, I think, and it's on sale on the PlayStation Store right now. A lot of you guys probably want to pick it up. There's a free demo available as well if you're a little bit skeptical about it, but it was noted that 3 major downloadable contents included with the Code Vein Season Pass will launch in early 2020. The downloadable content itself will include new bosses, new story, new stages, new NPC costumes, and new customization parts, including weapons, blood codes, and gifts. Additionally, a new update is planned for release in December, which will include Christmas-themed accessories and emotes such as dances and new poses. Code Vein is available now for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and again, as I noted, it is available a little bit cheaper now, still at a hefty price point, but given that it just came out back in September, I think a little bit of a higher price point is to be expected. I didn't think it was a perfect game, but if you want a game with that anime aesthetic with some resemblances to Souls' challenging gameplay, definitely different than Souls, but the resemblances are definitely there. Code Vein definitely has a lot of strong elements. I definitely wouldn't say it's one of the best games of 2019, but some of the reviews were a little bit mixed, and I was a little bit higher on the game than a lot of other people. It has a 72 on Metacritic, still a respectable score, but if you actually look at how the people have received the game on like the Metacritic user reviews and the Steam reception, it is a lot stronger over there. And again, it's a game that they've done a good job keeping it updated. I don't think it's going to end up being like a Monster Hunter World where this game persists for years on end, but I do think Code Vein is going to be a game with a little bit of longevity, and the Season Pass is definitely going to add to that. Again, the Season Pass content will be launching in early 2020, and that's going to conclude this video. Again, Rockstar Games might be working on something really sick for their next project. A new medieval title, what would you guys think about that? Would it be a little bit disappointing? Would you rather a Grand Theft Auto 6? Would you rather something else entirely? Bully 2? Who knows? Let us know in the comment section down below. I think a medieval game being something entirely different, something completely brand new, that would be a sick revelation. PlayStation 5 could be using Samsung's NVMe SSD. Darksiders Genesis is noted to have 11 stages and takes about 15 hours to finish, and Code Vein will be seeing its Season Pass DLC launch in early 2020. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.